Hi, I'm Jen. I'm an artist, illustrator, and small business owner currently based in Austin, Texas. Today, I'd like to talk about what my experience has been like while being a shy, introverted artist on social media as I color this coloring page from my upcoming coloring book. Since I was a kid, I have always been a shy, private, and introverted person. I've always valued my alone time and I like to keep to myself, and I've always been described as a quiet and soft-spoken person. So when I decided that I wanted to pursue art full-time, I found myself feeling very anxious and nervous because up until that point, I had virtually no social media presence. So showing up online and meeting new people sounded quite intimidating. But I felt very passionate about creating and making art. So I knew that if I wanted to start this journey, that I would need to step outside of my comfort zone to do so. Social media nowadays is incredibly vast and powerful, and since I was seeing other artists and illustrators making a career for themselves through sharing online, I decided that I wanted to try out a similar approach. I made my social media accounts in 2021 and first began posting to Instagram in October. I challenged myself to post 5 times a week for an entire year. I did this because I wanted to be consistent while making art and felt that this would help keep me accountable, but also because this was a small step that was just outside my comfort zone and it would help build my confidence over time. Slowly, my following started to grow and I started to meet so many incredible and talented artists and just some of the most supportive people. I found that the online art community is immensely passionate, encouraging, and so willing to help and raise each other up. Everyone is just so nice, and everyone just wants to see each other win. It was so helpful to experience that from the start, and I felt comfortable with chatting with people online about either my art or theirs. After a few months of regular posting, I took the next step, which was to create videos for TikTok and Reels. I wouldn't say that I felt entirely ready for this stage, but I saw that there was a general push for short video content and thought that it would be good for my growth and business. Most of what I created in the beginning were primarily time lapses and quick draw with me videos, and once I launched my shop, I also did pack with me videos. These were great to start with because I didn't have to show myself or talk at all. I would just record the process and add some music and text to the screen to describe what was happening. This method worked for me, and over time, I began to feel more and more confident, and I found myself wanting to try out new things. Around this time, too, I started to get more detailed questions about my process, and I felt that I also wanted to share more about my work. So I felt that it was time to take the next step, the one that was far outside my comfort zone, which was to create videos with voiceovers. It was so hard in the beginning. I didn't like the sound of my voice, I was nervous about how my videos were going to do, and I was just scared to put another part of me out there. But what I found was that people liked to hear me and what I had to say because although I was a little bit awkward to start, I was still trying to be as genuine as possible. Being an introvert, I like to spend a lot of time by myself, and over the past decade, I've been regularly and habitually journaling and writing out my thoughts. And I found that this practice has benefited me a lot when it came to preparing my words and my scripts for my voiceovers, which in turn helped me better connect with others. It was really great, and it made for a more pleasant experience than I could ever imagine. I mean, I know that like many others, being and posting online is intense, and I honestly didn't ever imagine myself being where I am today making videos here online as often as I do. But I feel so lucky to have found people who have just been so kind, sweet, and encouraging. So whenever I do have a negative comment or reaction, it's not in large quantities, so it's easier to just focus on the good that people are feeling and telling me that they feel with my art. This all helped me feel ready to move on to the most intimidating step, which was to make long-form videos for YouTube. This was the scariest thing that I had ever decided to do, but it was something that I really wanted to try on my journey here. So now that I've been doing art full time for almost 2.5 years, what have I learned and what insights can I provide to anyone who is just starting out? Well, the first thing that I think is important to note is that you should do whatever you want to do. Only do what you feel comfortable with doing and take whatever steps you feel ready to take. There are so many artists, creatives, and small business owners who have grown their followings through social media, but everyone's journey is unique and personal. You can take inspiration from others and find motivation through them, but at the end of the day, you don't have to do things just because you see it working for others. To start, you don't even have to show your face. You don't have to share details about your personal life. You don't have to do live streams or videos. You don't even have to talk. It's important to get experience with creating content, and that experience might in turn give you the confidence to branch out and start showing more aspects of yourself in your content or videos. You know yourself more than anyone would, so having this understanding, you can decide what will work best for you and when. Another important thing to remember is to respect your mind and body when they're telling you that you need to take a break. I think oftentimes it feels like you have to keep up with all the trends and algorithm changes just to stay relevant and to get as much reach as possible. But if you're feeling exhausted or burnt out, taking a break might be the best thing for you. When you do things just for the sake of crossing it off a to-do list, it is often reflected in your work. Your content or your tone might not resonate as much, and in the end, you're just going to feel worse about the whole situation. It's okay to step away and go MIA for a little bit. Most people who follow you will actually be glad that you are taking time to take care of yourself because oftentimes they just want you to feel good and happy too. It's all about finding a healthy balance where you feel like you can interact with people but also remember yourself and what your needs and boundaries are. A nice thing about social media is that you can interact with people through comments and DMs, so it's typically less intimidating than meeting people face to face and having a conversation with a complete stranger. But it also doesn't mean that after some time of replying to comments that your social battery won't be a little depleted. As an introvert, being online and engaging can be tiring and sometimes too much. So while I do take the time and effort to read all of my messages, I also realize that I don't have to reply to every single one. Sometimes leaving a like or a heart on the comment is enough to express some gratitude and make a little connection with others. You don't have to be on social media to be a successful artist or business owner, but in my experience, I found that doing so has given me so much more confidence in myself and what I can create and do. And it has also given me the push and desire to keep trying new things. So if you are just starting out on your art journey, I do recommend at least giving it a chance, even if you feel like it might not work. Sometimes to grow, we just need to give ourselves a little push, and by taking small steps and trying new things, we can narrow in on what will actually work for us in the end. I'd love to know in the comments below whether you consider yourself to be an introvert or an extrovert and what your experience has been on your own personal art journey. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I appreciate you for watching. I hope that you have an amazing day and week ahead of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!